Podracing. Happy Memorial Day for those who are in the US. And my name is Game Draco. Joining me today is Ian. We should have an exciting match for you today between kingbeandip and Metallica.
Indeed, very excited for this one. We got two of the most seasoned, best players in the game facing off in the group stage. Should be a really entertaining match. Looking forward to see what they come up with.
And these two are the tourney veterans. They have participated in every tournament since we started doing the 2019 anniversary in 2019.
Indeed, and we're going to be starting off on Executioner. So yeah, both players very solid on this track. This could easily go either way. They agreed on it beforehand, so obviously they both want to race on it. So we'll see how it shakes out for them.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Where are we starting? Looks like Metallica's off, and now kingbeandip's off.
Yep, Metallica using far cam there.
Really solid time on Executioner is under 4 minutes full track.
Yep. And yep, both players with a relatively clean beginning, no early deaths yet.
Yeah.
So kingbeandip is known for sort of aggressive racing in tournament. He kind of races like he's playing in ILs. Well, Metallica is just generally just a solid tournament competitor who is always he's very consistent. He's always gonna put up a solid time pretty much.
Yeah, they have very much polar opposite playing styles. Kingbeandip likes to go aggressive to the point of reckless, and Metallica is known for being really risk-averse and going really fast.
Yeah, and kingbeandip does underheat just a little bit there going in, which for a really even race like this could end up costing him.
Yeah. Okay, it looks like we're seeing a divergence in the boost patterns. Just like, okay, that was a better boost time by kingbeandip. Kingbeandip is slightly ahead. 117, 118, both really solid first laps for Executioner.
Yeah, I'd say they're just about neck and neck. Kingbeandip a little bit higher heat and a little bit further ahead.
Yeah. 117 first lap is just insane. And this tube they're about to enter is the part where the track earns its name of Executioner.
Yeah, these rocks in the tube, as any casual player of the game knows, are very deadly and can be very hard to avoid. I think Metallica may have underheated there slightly, so
yeah,
that could end up costing him.
But thing about the tube too is that you have to be. It's a lot easier to survive that tube with a controller with an analog stick than any other controller.
Yeah, keyboard it's a little bit tougher because your movement is pretty jerky. And Metallica underheating again there, coming out of the tube just slightly.
116, 117. Kingbeandip is like a second ahead now.
Yeah. And
ooh, that was almost a crash Kingbeandip took. Oh!
Oh, Metallica exploding.
Metallica clean cuts it too sharp.
Yeah, I missed it.
Did probably decided it.
Did he get hit in the little gap thing?
He hit the left side of the gap.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's rough. It's a tricky obstacle, one that you can usually play around with if you have a consistent setup for it, but we have seen a lot of people die to it in tournaments, so.
Yeah, it's also on the Gauntlet too, and people have died to it there on that track as well. Whoa! That was a close call.
Indeed. Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be too crazy for kingbeandip to crash here because he's really racing aggressively. But if he makes it,
he's now past all the hard parts.
Yeah, no rocks in this last tube, so gonna be hard for him to mess it up.
Oh my god, this is gonna be an insane time for tourney. 351. That's insane for Journey. And 355 with a def? Most people can't even get that time deathless.
Yep, that's an extremely good time.
Okay, we're now going into the permaban stage.
Yep, so for any new viewers, the players will now permaban tracks, take them out of the pool for the rest of the match. So tracks that they don't want to play on, they can just remove. Each player gets 2 permabans. And Metallica is permabanning the Bunta Classic, one of the longest, most windy courses in the game. King Beandip bans Abyss.
Bunta Classic is also one of King Beandip's strongest tracks.
Yeah, King Beandip's really good on the Bunta Classic.
Fire Mountain Rally banned from Metallica, no surprise there. King Beandip's really solid in Fire Mountain Rally too. And the Bunta Train Course, which King Beandip has openly stated is his weakest track.
Yep, so all these bans make sense. Metallica, does Metallica have a really strong Abyss time? I'm not actually sure.
He's a beast on the skipped.
Yeah, that's one that people, you'll often see people want to take it out just because that skip can be just a complete
Okay, banning
card.
Mars. Are we going to see a skip force right off the bat?
Yeah, we may. It could be a bait to get him to temp ban a different track, but
Inferno, no surprise there. That's one of Metallica's strongest tracks. He's fearsome on the skip there.
Yep, being temp banned there. But Metallica certainly has a lot of options here. He's definitely got a large stable of tracks on which he's really good that he could easily pick here. We'll also see if he wants to use his forces early and maybe pick some skips somewhere else. Or even do a fast lap force. That's always on the table. Wow, and Metallica is taking us to Zugga Challenge skips. This is a spicy pick indeed. For any newcomers, this is a track where there are 3 different skips that players can do on each lap. Yeah. And to do all 9 in a single 3-lap run is incredibly difficult, especially in tournament.
I like to call it a 3-pronged skip.
Yeah, and some are a little easier to execute than others. The last skip in particular is the largest and the easiest to do. So both players will surely be going for that one, and we'll see how risky they choose to play it on the first 2 skips.
Now, the first 2 skips involve the cage corkscrew tunnel.
Yeah, and even so, that first skip, especially with sort of new strategies in the meta, is a lot easier to do than the second skip. The second skip is the most infamously difficult because you have to kind of ride up a wall at a particular angle, and you can easily crash into the ceiling or not. You have to fly out of bounds, and you might not clear the gap. So that second skip is really spicy to go for. And it's also not impossible that we'd see an MFG skip. It would be the first time we'd ever seen it, but it's not off the table. But yeah, I like this strategy from Metallica. He's using a force early, which is the best time to use them in terms of having all the tracks still left in the pool. I expect Metallica thinks that he'll easily take this one, so we'll see how it shakes out.
Yeah, it's a lot harder to do with Ben than Mars too.
Right. Yeah, Ben is significantly faster in skips than Mars, but Mars is a lot easier. So I think a skipless Ben is definitely slower than a Mars with skips. So Metallica not going for the first skip in practice. That's interesting. And he is going for the second skip. Wow, that is the opposite of what I thought he would do. Because that first skip is fairly consistent with the newer setup. And King Beandip going for the first one, but not the second one. That's what I expected to see. So this is going to be really interesting. I do not know how this is going to play out. I do think that first skip cuts more of the track than the second skip. So in that sense, I'd say King Beandip has the advantage. But it's all going to come down to execution. If any of them fails a skip or dies, that's going to matter more than which skips they do.
And the latest, the one that occurs on the latest on the track is the first one to discover, and then the second one was discovered a little later down the track, and then the third one was discovered the most recent, but it's on the earlier part of the track. No idea what to expect here.
And yeah, it is true that Ben has an easier time on the first skip than Mars does these days. But in any event, we'll see how it goes here.
Yeah. The reason why the first skip is so bad with Mars is because his hitbox is so wide.
Yeah. So in a vacuum, if neither player dies, I would say King Bean Dip has the advantage. But Metallica's obviously practiced this, so if he is consistent and King Bean isn't, then it's going to go his way. Metallica's, that is.
Yeah, because King Bean Dip did not feel quite as comfortable on the skip as Metallica did going in practice.
So both players neck and neck here, and they'll split off as King Bean Dip goes for the first skip, and Metallica doesn't.
It's King Bean.
So wow, yeah, they're both pretty
even.
Wow, that's amazing. They are neck and neck. King Bean Dip is lower heat, so he's got that advantage, but positionally they're basically in the same spot. And yeah, that's crazy. I did not know that those two skips cut such a similar amount of time. And yeah, here's the third skip, the easiest to pull off, but requires them to do a break and turn around here.
Oh!
Which King Bean Dip executes better, yeah.
Metallica almost crashed and had to slam hard on the brakes.
Yeah, King Bean Dip with that faster turnaround, that does save him a good chunk of time here.
Yeah, put him like a second or two ahead.
Yeah, this is crazy. This is going to be really too close to call until someone either explodes or... Yeah.
Basically, we can't really call it until the final lap. Okay.
Nice. So both players get their respective skips again, cleanly. And King Bean Dip once again, actually, yeah, King Bean Dip is, well, they're about even. They're about even on heat. So Metallica is just a little behind still from that turnaround, basically. See how it goes for him this time.
It's a new lap record.
And King Bean Dip took it narrower.
Yeah, Metallica he was a little faster this time than he was last lap, but he was still a bit slower than King Bean was there.
But I can't call it until the final lap. Can't really call it.
Yeah, it's all down to these last two skips here.
Yeah, or three.
Right. Oh, King Bean Dip misses. Wow. Okay, so we'll see if he goes for the skip that Metallica's been doing as a backup. Looks like he doesn't.
No, he doesn't go for the backup. This is Metallica's chance.
Metallica's looking good.
Okay.
Yep, this is Metallica's to lose.
Now the one last part is the dozer. It's in a very precarious position in this lap. Okay, here we go. This is the final one.
Yeah, it looks like Metallica's going to take this.
Metallica takes it.
Wow, with a 358. It's a great time. Yeah, did not expect that. Wow. King Bean Dip just missing his last skip, and it ends up costing him. King Bean Dip saying he forgot to do the first skip lap 3, that is unfortunate. That's not what you want.
Okay, King Bean Dip banning Mars this time. Ravine Gateway, very smart ban. And
wow, yeah, we're getting word that both players have just beaten the previous tourney record for Zlega Challenge.
Zlega skips?
Indeed, yeah. So those are the two
Baru
fastest
Coast.
times ever.
Baru Coast. Oh, he's banning Mahonic and Bullseye. Ooh, this means you're forced to take Ben. He's forcing us to take Ben or lose massively. He just knocked out all the safe picks that are really good at handling on this track.
Yeah, this is a really interesting, good pick here.
Brutal, Metallica just said.
Yep. So basically, Baru Coast is it's one of the most difficult tracks in the game because of the second half of the track, and there's a lot of like intermediate speed pods that are quite good at it, that are good at turning, which King Beandip has just banned all of them. So the only pod left that's competitive on the track is Ben, who's very fast but not very turny, and as in his ability to turn is low. So while this is technically still the strongest pod on this track, it's probably not one that you would necessarily pick in tournament.
Yeah. Ben on Baru Coast is considered the second hardest thing to do in the game after Bullseye on Gravine.
Yeah, certainly it's an extremely difficult combo. And yeah, Elon Mack is available. He's in the top 5 in terms of speed, and his turning is a lot better than Ben's. Yeah, we'll see who they choose to go for.
But Elon Mack does not turn as well as Mahonic, even though it's at his booster. Well, the same with Beto. It's like and of course, going with Ben. And as we see, Metallica just got this is why Metallica said brutal. His fastest time was Bullseye, so he doesn't know how to use any pod faster than Bullseye on this track.
Yeah, Metallica is picking Niva Key, who is comparable in terms of turning with Bullseye, but he is very slow.
Yeah.
Unless King Beandip, really messes up, he's going to have this easily. Niva Key is just too slow.
Funny enough is that Niva Key is the track favorite for this track.
Right, and he's very good at this track for the casual player, but Ben's boost is just so fast that he outclasses Niva Key every way.
Yeah, this is going to be a wash.
Yeah, King Bean's looking good, so don't think he's gonna have any really bad issues.
Looks like Metallica is not used to doing Baru Coast with outside of Bullseye. And Niva Key's booster is one of the worst in the game because he still heats up faster than he cools down fully upgraded.
Yeah, you can see here just how slow Niva Key goes over this beach section compared to Ben. To answer a question in the chat, Bullseye would not be able to keep up with Ben. He's not as far off as Niva Key is because his boost thrust is better, but he's still a lot slower in terms of the top level.
Yeah. Second fastest pod on this track is actually Mars.
Yeah. And in tournament, Bullseye's a good pick, especially if it's a player that's not really well practiced on this track with Ben. But against someone like King Beandip, who's clearly really good at Ben on this track, it's not going to be anywhere close.
Yeah, and here's where the blowout is going to start. This beach section is where Ben just blasts through everything.
Yeah, and King Beandip, he even underheats a little bit, but he's still just so far ahead.
Thing is, though, is that it's a bit dicier at Ben because you have to right wall, and that is no guarantee you're going to be making it out in one piece.
Yeah, so we do see Niva Key making up some time here in the jungle section, but throughout all these straights, Ben just he's gonna fly ahead.
Yeah. Trick with using Ben on this track is to use him like you do with Bullseye Navarre on it, which is insanely more difficult. And a crash, and an insult to injury for Metallica.
It's a new
118 first lap.
Yeah, you don't want to be crashing if you're Neva Key.
Almost crashed for King Bean Dip. Whoa!
Oh, wow. That is unfortunate for King Bean Dip. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be enough to matter, but that is a sort of freak kind of death that can happen. Oh, no. Okay, now this is not good. This is giving Metallica a chance to get back in this. 2 deaths. A death in the beach section, which is where Ben is penalized the most for crashing. That's bad news.
Yeah. Crashing on the beach is probably the worst death you can take on this track with Ben.
Yeah, so Metallica will have a chance here. Not if King Bean Dip races clean, but we see he's looking a little sketchy. He's maybe tilted by that death a little bit. So yeah, King Bean Dip making it interesting for Metallica here. Yeah, King Bean is he's looking a little rocky here, like a little less steady than he was lap 1.
127.
Yeah. Neva Key with a 121 lap there. So losing almost 7 seconds to deaths. Ooh, and
Narrowly makes it this time.
Yeah, almost had a repeat of that same death. Makes it past the tree this time, so...
Now it looks like he's gonna max out Ben on the beach. Almost, but still pretty high heat.
Yeah, he made up a lot of time there. If he crashes, Metallica could get back in it, but... Pretty clean 3rd lap so far.
Yeah. But he's running out of the... He ran... Whoa! Okay.
Yeah, you can't really say that he's got it until the end because there are some spots where you can die at the very last few corners here, but...
He's got it!
Yep, King Bean Dip will take this one. With a 402. A great time with 2 deaths.
Apparently King Bean Dip said dying to the backside of the pillar was a first for him.
Metallica temp banning Ben. So that's indicating that maybe Metallica wants to take us to, a straightforward Ben track, but with Ben removed from the pool. King Bean Dip temp banning Inferno. So yeah, King Bean Dip is very just wary of letting Metallica take us to Inferno because Metallica is the best at the Inferno skip. And King Bean Dip is not very confident on it.
Gauntlet coming. Gauntlet skips.
Yeah, Gauntlet skips. This is a classic. Good.
Last year it had a boatload of shenanigans.
Yeah, always entertaining. This is the longest track in the game. Well, nearly close to the longest track in the game. But there's a skip that allows you to just bypass the majority of the track.
Yeah.
And it's not always, there's different variations, and some are faster and slower or more risky or less risky.
Yeah. The first one was actually discovered back in the era of Mike and I, where he did the Rockwell ride, but I had to skip hunt for it because he kept it secret. And once I found it, I told him to cough it up and make it public.
Yeah, that was the Wild West days.
And I'm betting on Mars Mirror because Mars is by far the most reliable at this skip.
Yeah, I'd say that's most likely for sure.
Because you can do this skip with Ben. I was the first to do it, but it's so much harder with him.
Yeah, we'll see what variation Metallica chooses to go for, whether he goes with the sort of slower, more consistent, wall ride along the rocks, or if he chooses to go for one of the versions where you bounce off the rocks in the beginning of that section. But it looks like he's going to go for just the normal, consistent route here.
He's known for doing both.
Yeah, I think Personally, I think the smart play is to do exactly what Metallica's doing, just go for the slow, consistent route. Just because the risky, faster variations are just you just can't count on them, especially in tournament. And yeah, we'll see what King Beandip chooses to go for, because he is known for having these sort of aggressive, risky strats.
Both looks like they're going for the rock wall.
Yep. So both going for the pretty, the pretty slow and pretty consistent variation. So this is all going to be the final tube to see who can not crash there, and just execution who can make the skip 3 times in a row.
Yeah. And this tube at high frame rates run the risk of soft locking in the rocks.
Yep, you can get trapped inside one of the asteroids in that final tunnel, and we have seen it happen where one or even both players get stuck and they have to either try to get themselves out or restart the race potentially. I think both these players know how to escape from the asteroid, but yeah, we'll see how it plays out.
And this skip is safest at 6600, which also is the setting that also runs the highest risk of soft locking. Now, both of them are on PC, so they have a way out, but if you're playing on Switch, PS4, or Xbox One, you have no option. You can't escape.
So it looks like Metallica does have a previous Gauntlet skips time in tournament. But interestingly, King Beandip does not appear to. So I guess this will be the first time King Beandip is doing Gauntlet skips in tournament.
I'm not so sure, because he might have just... It's really easy to reset the records on the PC version.
Oh yeah, I mean in the in our tournament stats spreadsheet.
Oh, you looked at the tourney stats. I thought you were looking at the match outright. Oh man.
Yeah, interesting. I didn't think that this would be King Beandip's first Gauntlet skips in tournament, but maybe that's something that Metallica noticed, and that's why he's picking it here.
Yeah. Let's see how it goes, because you cannot call anything until the final lap of this track. Okay.
Yeah, both players are going for basically just identical setups here.
Here we go, the tube. Oh!
Yep, both make it through, but kind of sketchy. King Beandip underheats while Metallica doesn't. If Metallica can use the heat,
that's about 4/10 of a second for Metallica. But let's see how the second skip goes.
If Metallica can use all his heat, then he theoretically has a bit of an advantage here, but it is all down to the skip.
Yep. Here we go. Oh my god, Metallica almost hit the railing.
Yep, but clean again.
Whoa!
And yeah, King Beandip underheating pretty badly.
Both underheated badly, but King Beandip underheated completely.
It's a new lap record.
And interestingly, King Beandip does manage a slightly faster lap 2 there, but
All
Metallica,
comes down to this final skip and tube.
indeed.
Here it goes. Oh my god! Oh, that probably did it!
Yep, just not quite clean there. Explodes on the re-entry to the track after the skip, and that's brutal for Metallica. This is King Beandip winning on Metallica's pick.
Match point for King Beandip.
233 to 238. If King Beandip didn't have a skips time before, he definitely does now.
That was deathless.
Yeah, in fact, I think that may be a tourney record. Not positive, but
I don't think it's a tourney record because Ace set that last year where he got it deathless with Ben.
But either way, a fast time with Mars. So yeah, this is match point here for King Beandip. And Metallica has to come up with another strong pick here.
And he's out of forces. He's exhausted them.
Yeah, that's tough for Metallica. I mean, he used a force on that, but also you gotta think a little bit. You know, he went for sort of a middle of the road, consistent, not very risky, but also not very fast strategy. So he had to think that King Beandip was going to be doing the same thing. And yeah, getting word that that was actually 2 seconds off of the tourney record, which comparing Mars and Ben, that's an extremely fast Mars time.
Ben's Doug Derby because he was banned. So King Beandip was banning Inferno, thinking he was going to force skips. M100. This is a Ben mirror.
Yeah, I like this pick.
Now, the optimal track skip setting was 6600 for the gauntlet skip. The optimal for MLS Star 100 is the exact polar opposite of the lowest of the low, 2420.
Yep, so it looks like both players have pretty similar times on this track in tournament coming in. King Beandip does have a 1 second slower tournament PB. So Metallica favored on paper a little bit here. And I think what it mostly will come down to is, have these players been practicing this track lately?
150. That is not a good sign.
Oh, was that his PB in his in-game?
Yes.
Yeah, their tourney PBs are 148.998 and 149.164, respectively, between Metallica and King Beandip. So really close.
Oof. That hairpin where Metallica crashed in practice, that is the deciding part of this whole track.
Did Metallica go for the fast terrain route?
Yes, he went for the left route.
Okay, so yeah, both players doing the same strategies here. And yeah, they're both players IL PBs, their PBs not in tournament, are only a 10th apart in time. So, and Metallica looking sketchy on that hairpin in warm-ups here.
Not a good sign. King Beandip looks more comfortable on it.
Yeah, that's not great for Metallica's pick. That does not bode well. Yeah, I do hope that Metallica is able to pull through here. Always rooting for race 7 in these matches, and his death on Gauntlet there was pretty tragic. But yeah, match point. Let's see how it goes for him.
Here we go.
Starting off clean, same heat, neck and neck. Where things get tricky is the fast terrain route here. See if they're both able to handle it. Looks like they are. And there's the all-important hairpin. Metallica just barely scraping by. He literally scraped the front of his pod on the hairpin there, almost exploding.
They're off by 0.03 of a second.
Yeah, and Metallica's lower heat, so he does come out ahead there, playing it extremely close. He was incredibly close to dying there.
Here we go. Hairpin 2.
Metallica looking
really solid by both. Looks like Metallica got the boost a little earlier.
Yeah, Metallica looking way less sketchy on that second one. So, yeah, he's about half a second ahead here.
Can't call it because this track can kill you easily. Also based off of Sonoma Raceway.
Indeed. Both players using heat pretty well. Metallica having higher heat.
Here we go.
Good for him.
Final hairpin.
Ooh,
Oh,
Metallica
straight.
looking sketchy. Oh, this is gonna be super close.
This is gonna be really close.
Wow.
Oh, King Bean Dip took it because he rammed into the hairpin and lost like 100 speed units.
Yeah, Metallica just bonked on that third hairpin. Wins by slightly over a tenth. Wow, what a finish there. That was brutal. Yeah, that was just a tragic last hairpin to decide it. That's not how you want to go out. Yeah, here we'll see if we can get both players in for a little post-match interview. That was really strong racing from King Bean Dip. He just managed to just beat Metallica at his own game, at his own picks there. King Bean, Metallica, hello. And congratulations, King Bean. Condolences, Metallica. That was a tough way to go out there.
Yeah, I guess I'm getting used to it by now. It keeps happening every match.
I mean, they was so close. It was really too close to call. Up until the final hairpin there, you had about a half-second advantage, and then just that bonk just at the very end. That's tough.
Wow. On the third lap, I tried to use more heat by holding nose up, but then obviously that threw off the timing for the hairpin, and I sort of just forgot that I needed to turn earlier, so I ended up going to the wall.
Yeah, I mean, it was so close. And I mean, also, Gauntlet 2 was just, you were neck and neck just right up until that third lap, that last re-entry. Just, again, brutal, yeah.
I don't know why that keeps happening to me recently. It didn't used to happen at all before, but now, all day I was practicing and it kept happening, and I kept trying to do different things to avoid it, but I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, I think you kind of just have to tilt and turn and kind of just pray a little bit, and sadly, didn't quite work out there.
Yeah, today was definitely a good day for me. I tend to make tons of minor mistakes in matches, and geez, my last match I died once on every track.
Yeah, you were looking quite solid. A little rocky there on Baru Coast, obviously, with the kind of freak cliff floor death there, and then the second death on the tree. Yeah, we could see the nerves there, but you managed to pull it out with a clean lap 3. But that was definitely scary because Metallica was definitely catching up with Neva Key there after you crashed, which was kind of funny.
You really caught me with that pick, because I cannot do that track with anything other than Bullseye and maybe Mars. So now that everyone has seen it, I have to start practicing it.
Yep, it's a hard track.
So I guess your picks worked out pretty well, King Bean. And how did you guys decide on Executioner to start off with there?
We just alternated bands.
Yeah.
I really like the previous year's method for picking tracks. I feel like you could put a lot of thought into it before coming into the match and picking it, but with this new method, I guess it's more likely to get a more fair track for both.
We don't specify in the rules how long before the match to choose the track. You could do it like 15 minutes before.
Yeah, I think we've seen a variety there. Some people picking right before it starts, and others kind of having all day to prepare.
I can't believe I forgot to do the skip on Zuga.
Oh yeah, that's what I was trying to think of. That was wild. I mean, that one was, again, just so close, like the entire match, because I don't know if you know, but Metallica was going for the second skip and not the first skip, while you were going for the first skip and not the second skip.
Interesting.
And the way it worked out was that you were just tied. Like they were saving an equal amount of time, and it was impossible. Yeah, it was impossible to call up until you didn't make that last skip there.
Huh.
Yeah, that'll be that's a good one to watch back, because that was a really really tense race as well.
Mm-hmm. I kind of figured that cutting out the 360-degree loop would save more, but guess not.
Yeah, that's what I was saying before, that I thought that was going to be more effective, but just for whatever reason, y'all were very even.
Very interesting. I didn't even think about using that one because it's so difficult. I haven't been able to find a way to get it to work.
Have you seen the new method?
Maybe I haven't.
Yeah,
the new method is you just drive between the walls. You don't have to climb anything. You just tilt and go straight through.
Yeah, so you take the upstairs and you just kind of tilt through.
Yeah, you just go. For some reason, there's a hole square in the middle of the tube entry, and rather than bifurcating your pod, you go through it.
I see. Interesting.
And I've actually never done it before. And so I went into that race thinking I am so unprepared for this race. But it just worked.
Yeah.
Until I forgot.
The other thing I thought about doing, but didn't in the end, was to boost, on the second skip, boost when going into the wall to not get slowed down so much from flying around. But that one's a bit difficult as well. I was a bit scared of doing it.
Yeah, well, you managed to not underheat regardless of not boosting, so I think that was huge for you. But yeah, a tough match, tough loss there, Metallica. That was hard to watch. Just those extremely close races there.
A bit sad for me. I kind of want to go back to the previous years where I just got matched up with a bunch of new players instead.
Yeah, it's a stressful group, that's for sure. Group 1. Well, I guess with that, maybe we'll go ahead and wrap things up here. Congratulations again, kingbeandip. Tough loss, Metallic. Good luck in the rest of your group stage matches, though. I'm definitely kind of scared to face you and see what you come up with. So.
Well, I'm scared of you as well, so we'll see.
Nice, yeah. Mutual fear. It's good. But yeah, congrats, King Bean, and thank you to the crew behind the scenes helping us out. Dom, Statsman. Thank you, Game Draco, for commentating with me. It looks like our next match is going to be tomorrow. Tomorrow at 9, we're going to have Crypto Racer versus Magius, and you'll catch Game Draco and Dom Ray doing comms on that. So look forward to that. That'll be good. And so, yeah, with that, thanks, everybody, and we'll see you soon.
GG's.
GG's.
Good luck, everyone. May the force be with you.